Hello.
Hello, Dr. Naveed. Do you hear me?
How are you, everyone? How's everything?
Yes, good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. Well, I cannot see your face, but it doesn't matter. Oh,
Sorry.
now I see you. Hi there. How are you?
Yes. So
Okay. Do you hear me, right?
yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So, today's meeting agenda might be divided into 4 sections, I guess. So, first agenda will be discussing the PCP and about the shortened project period, as I have sent to you via email earlier today. Second part of the meeting for today will be discussing the number of EV charging stations. And third, I'm not sure if we can discuss this for today's meeting, but if time allows for today, I would like to shortly introduce about the general ODA process. And the last agenda will be about the other small paperworks.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's start.
Yeah, okay. So about the shortened project period, let me share my PCP here. Okay. So you see the document, right?
Yes, I can see the document.
Okay, good. Okay, the reason the project period has been shortened from 5 years to 3 years is that actually I had a meeting with the implementing agency, which is the Korea Energy Agency. I was told that the keynote of the policy from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Korea, which is the monitoring agency of all the ODA projects from Korea, the government of Korea wants to carry forward the ODA projects with higher speed and with more efficiency. So this is the background why we have changed the project period from 5 years to 3 years. And in my opinion, I think it is win-win to the both country of Pakistan and Korea because
that is true. That is true because I think that's probably a pretty long time, 5 years to install and then monitor the project. 3 years is a reasonable time. Probably it will give the same benefits, maybe more, and maybe you can go to the follow project rather quicker with the lessons learned in this project.
Exactly, yeah, I agree with that because the total budget stays the same, and also as you mentioned, once we launch the pilot project and succeed, then we can go on to the next step with even bigger ODA fund, I guess, and which will lead to more and more EV charging stations installed throughout the whole Pakistan, not only in Punjab city. So that's my big picture. So that I guess we agree with the shortened project period. And according to the 3 years, I have modified slightly of our project. So basically everything's the same. I have only mixed and matched all the other project factors, but I only have modified dividing into two big sections, so policy consultation and pilot project. And I have read what you have modified, which is marked with red colors.
Right.
So I would like to talk about the number of EV charging stations. So I have one question to you. So does that mean that installation of installation of one EV charging station at 3 to 4 strategic locations in Punjab, or 3 to 4 EV charging stations at 3 to 4 strategic locations in Punjab, which is correct?
Right. So the thing is that when we are installing the EV charging station,
Mhm.
we need to see that how many cars can charge in parallel, right?
Yes.
So assuming that we have one charging station that can charge two cars in parallel,
Mhm.
and then we have 3 or 4 locations. That's what intent is.
So then it means.
So let me explain it.
Okay.
4 physical locations
Mhm.
at different locations in Pakistan. So
Mhm.
4 locations, uh, whatever we decide with the ministry.
Yeah.
Then at each location, we'll have at least 2 cars that can charge in parallel.
At least 2 stations, right?
Yes. You can probably, so when we say stations, it means one location, at least in our terminology. Maybe you have a different terminology that you use. So I would like to find out what that terminology is. So when we talk about station, we look at to call it the infrastructure that we have to put up in that location, whether it is for 2 or 4 or 6 or 8 cars that can parallel charge in that area.
Uh,
So the number of charging guns will determine how many charging, how many cars can charge at a given time in parallel.
2 cars. So let me show you a picture of a sample EV charging infrastructure. Wait, please. Actually, I am writing a final report for this project, and I will be send it to you with the English version of translation.
Okay, that will be great.
Yes, yes, of course. Do you see the picture as well?
I can see the picture. I can see the green area.
Okay. So this will be wait. Yeah, this will be the sample picture of the EV charging infrastructure. So you see this picture.
Yeah. So can you zoom in a bit?
Okay. This is actually what Korea is using right now. And as you mentioned, I guess, for each EV charging station, 2 cars can be charged.
Right, right. So
Right.
this is what I was referring to.
Yes, yeah, I guess we are on the same page. And this will be the sample of the micro electrical vehicle.
All right.
Yes. So I guess we are on the same page. Okay.
Which company is this vehicle from? Which company has manufactured this?
Which country you mean?
Company.
Company.
Brand.
Actually, it is there is a big EV related well, how to say techno park in Korea, which is Ulsan in Korea. And they do all kinds of experiments related to electrical vehicles. And in Ulsan, Korea, they are doing some kind of tests. So
Okay.
yeah, this is what we are doing right now. And name of the company is name of the private sector company is a Futuronic, which is not very big company of Korea, but they are doing all kind of tests related to electrical vehicles. So this is what I am doing with them.
Okay.
So yeah, now I understood 4 locations and at least 2 stations, which you can charge up maximum 2 electrical vehicles. Yeah,
Right.
Yes. Okay. Actually, I have to report it to my superior about the numbers, and let me come back to you after I discuss with my superiors.
All right.
Yeah.
So let me just give you an idea of the costs that or the price that some of the EV charging stations have paid recently. So I think this amount in almost a $1 million grant, I think we can easily can have 4 locations for EV charging stations.
Okay.
So the cost will be less than maybe $300,000 or something like that. So I think that is doable. And also for the ministry, the more number of locations that they will see, they will be more interested in the project.
Yes. You mean 3,000 US dollars per one EV charging stations, right?
No, for all four.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, actually, since it is the only pilot project, which means pre-feasibility study, I guess the total size of the project, I am looking at this number as very small, I guess. But as I mentioned, if we succeed with the pilot project, then we can expand our total ODA fund.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the pilot project, one location probably will be very limited in terms of data collection. We will probably need a few locations, maybe one in the city, two on the motorway, one on the highway. That will give us much better data for the larger project.
Okay. Okay, then I have one question about the locations. Which part or which location are you thinking? Are you in consideration to
So
install?
let me give you an idea of the current EV usage in Pakistan. So in Pakistan, most of the people who have EVs or who own cars
Okay.
typically have a space to park them, a private space to park them.
Mhm.
So they don't charge at maybe at public charging station. They charge it from home.
Yes, yes.
And when they charge it from home, they only need it. The charging is only needed when they are traveling outside the city.
Mm.
For example, if I am in Lahore and I would like to go to Islamabad, which is another city about 350 kilometers from here, and my car's range is about 250 kilometers, I will have to stop in between and then charge my car. And that's if that charge is not there, I cannot travel to Islamabad. So that's a very critical location.
Mhm.
Then when I go to Islamabad, I need maybe a location somewhere in the city where I can charge my car to come back.
Mm.
I will never charge in Lahore because I have my own house and I will just charge it from there. And the local commute, I will not charge there.
Mm.
So unlike some countries where there's a lot of high rises and people live in high rises, so they have to go to public charging locations. In Pakistan, the most critical parts right now, which we are lacking, is the charging station that are along the motorways and the highways of the country.
Uh-huh.
And right, so in cities we need them, but we need them at very strategic locations. For example, malls. So, for example, near to hotels or something where people spend some time, and meanwhile they're eating a meal or maybe attending a meeting, they can have their charge. They can charge their car. So those are the, you can say, the first chargers that needs to be installed. Because let me tell you another experience that I just found out from another company in Pakistan that's called K Electric.
Mm.
They have installed 3 charging stations in the city of Karachi.
Uh-huh.
They are saying that although they have installed the chargers, nobody is coming to charging at their stations.
Mm.
Because everybody's charging from home, and the only people who come to them are the people who are coming from other cities, and that number is very small because those people cannot really come from very long distances because the highway charging infrastructure is not there. So Pakistan, the challenge is not in the city wise, it's more on the highways. We do need in cities, but the more important requirement is along the highways. So if you want to have more footfall of cars that should come for charging, they need to be firstly established on the motorways and highways.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, actually, the reason that I have wrote the location in the city hall Lahore, the reason is that I thought maybe installing when we install the EV charging infrastructure, I thought it is very important of the stable supply of the electricity. So that was why that I have wrote it in City of Lahore. But after
I would suggest that you just do not mention any location right in this proposal.
I think, yeah, I guess I agree with you. Yeah. Mm-mm. I see. That's why you have mentioned. Yeah, now I understand. Okay.
So this report actually we published earlier this just about 3-4 months ago with a partnership of Ministry of Climate Change, and there we have studied over a year of where are the more strategic locations of charging infrastructure. So that report I'll send you a copy of it. That tells the exact location, but we do not want to maybe limit ourselves to the report, but we can refer to the report so the ministry also think that okay, yes, they are helping us in the work that we have already completed, the Koreans or the Korean government.
Yes, now I understand, and I agree with you. Yeah.
Right, right.
Um. Okay, then after we finish up the PCP and LOI, which represents a letter of interest that I have sent you this week, maybe.
Yeah.
After that, I'd like to shortly introduce the afterwards process. You see the picture, right? Okay. So this is the basic ODA aid process. So
Yes.
yeah, this is what you and I are working on as a team to deduct the PCP and letter of interest. So the Ministry of Climate Change of Pakistan submits, wait, please. Ministry, yeah, submits the PCP and the official letter to the Economic Affairs Division of the Ministry of Economy of Pakistan.
Right.
They evaluate the PCP that you and I have wrote, and the Ministry of Economy of Pakistan submits the PCP to the Embassy of the Republic of Korea, to the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. And this PCP is passed on to the Ministry of Affairs of Korea or the Ministry of Economy and Finance of Korea. Then, then the PCP will be evaluated from the Korean side, and the selection process of the ODA projects among the numerous candidate ODA projects will be selected, and the bidding process for selecting the ODA consultant, Korean consultant, such as me or the Hyundai Research Institute, will be selected. Then the ODA project will be launched. So this is a basic ODA aid process. So I wanted to tell you this. And the reason that I am showing you this picture is that I'd like to ask you to monitor time to time if the PCP that you and I have deducted is going on step by step.
Right. So I think what I can maybe do is from the Ministry of Climate Change and to the Economic Affairs Division,
Yes, yes.
until it reaches Embassy of Republic of Korea, that I can monitor, I can help monitor. After that, it's probably your control that starts.
Yes. After that, actually, it will be depend on luck, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we'll try and hopefully we'll.
Yeah.
And also I think the interest of the people that are involved. Maybe we'll request the commercial counselor to maybe request his counterpart there. The commercial counselor, I think in Karachi is somebody I know of the Korean commercial counselor, I think, who introduced you to our group, and I think they can probably help us out here.
Yes. For that, I will also do my best for the optimal result for Pakistan.
Great.
Okay, and we have the last issue for today's meeting, the small other paperwork that I have modified the contract between you and me according to the change of the total consultancy fee. So I have emailed you on Tuesday, was it?
Yes, I was. It's in my to-do list for today. I will send you back all those paperwork
Okay.
before the end of day here in Pakistan. So before early office, I'll send you all the documents over.
It is no hurry. If time allows for you, then yeah,
No,
just
today I have actually set aside time for it. A couple of days ago, I was a bit
okay.
caught
Yeah.
up in other things. So today I was planning to do it anyways.
Okay, I understand. It was a just simple reminder for the contract and filling the.
Right. So I have maybe one question related to all this activity. I am not part of the Ministry of Climate Change. I have worked with them in the past. I still have good relationship with them.
Mhm.
When I go to them for with this PCP and the letter, who I am representing? Am I representing the Hyundai Research Institute? Am I representing in my own capacity as maybe a consultant, or I can say something on behalf of maybe Hyundai Research or Korean Energy Agency?
Yes.
If you can explain me that, so that will help me to approach the ministry in the right way.
So basically, you are the diplomat of this project. So you are the very important connection between Korea and Pakistan. So you are a local consultant for this project. So you are basically working for the Korean Energy Agency, because I am going to send you the consultancy fee from the fund from Korea Energy Agency.
All right. Okay. Good. Now I've understood, so I can go with the right hat on my head.
Okay. Please do not forget to get the business card from the ministry, and also your business card as well.
I have all the business card. I mean, I've been going to ministry for a long time. So, but
Perfect.
I will do that. I'm planning to probably will send a message to the minister maybe today and tomorrow about this project. And if he asks me to come over to Islamabad, I'll travel to Islamabad next week to get the letter and the project going on from there.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I guess we are done for today's meeting.
Okay, great.
Unless you have any questions or inquiries.
No, I think it's fine. I will just say to the ministry that these are the 3 or 4 charging stations that will be installed in the first phase, and that's a pilot phase, which can be followed by a larger project to install further charging station depending on the results of this project. And this is just an intent at this time. The formal process with Economic Affairs Division will start as soon as we have a letter from them. From the ministry.
So let me send you this picture to you after I discuss with my superior about the number of the EV charging stations.
Right.
Possible. Yeah.
And also, I think you can mention one more thing is that charging stations in Pakistan is now allowed at 0% duty. So, so I think there is some sales tax on it, but the duty is almost none. So I think that's why we can probably go for 3 or 4 number of charging stations.
Duty, you mean the tax?
The custom duty that they charge at.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for your time and consideration on this.
Thank you very much, and I'll send you the rest of the documents. When you have the updated PCP after discussing with your supervisor, please send it over to me. I'll then use that document to talk to the minister.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Great.
Okay. Have a nice weekend.
All right. Bye. Have a nice evening.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.